Jimmy Bradford was diagnosed with melanoma, advanced stage. At that time, in our knowledge of melanoma, there weren't a lot of therapies. I'll always remember the conversation with Jimmy. It was right here in this room, and he said, my tumor doesn't have that RAF mutation. That's the mutation to which we had a new FDA-approved drug. And he said, so I'd like to give a gift. And so it seemed the most expedient approach to actually doing what Jimmy wanted was to take his tumor and sequence it in its entirety.
This was just his way of fighting. I would have loved to have had 2 more years, any more years, but to have something, to have time, means a lot.
When you have a best friend die, you know, it's pretty traumatic. And not only was he my best friend, but we were partners in running a business.
There was such a relationship with Jimmy Bradford that all we wanted to do was to do something important in his name. The James C. Bradford Melanoma Fund was started initially when Jimmy made the discovery grant to sequence his tumor. And at the time we made contributions to it, we had no idea that this fund would be there to help Luke.
A year after Jimmy died, I was diagnosed. My skin doctor noticed a little place on my back.
I knew a lot about melanoma, and I knew that if it had gone to his brain, which it had, that it was stage 4 melanoma, and therefore he had a very short time to live. And so it was devastating. Research
On Jimmy's tumor led to advances in immunotherapy and the drug Keytruda, and that's what I was on and what saved me.
Jimmy was visionary. He was a really kind man. So I think with the gift, he really wanted to move it forward for others. That framework that was built put us in a position to be one of the leading centers for investigation of new immunotherapies for melanoma.
Every 3 months we would go back, have scans, and every 3 months the cancer would have shrunk until after a year it's virtually gone.
While I was battling cancer, there's no question that the biggest help to me was my wife. Her standing by me and helping me was the major thing that got me through it. And then I think the people at Vanderbilt, I mean, my oncologist was fabulous and obviously made the right choices for me.
None of these medicines are pleasant, but if you can get through them and your scans show progress, I mean, that is so much more than what Jimmy was able to realize.
After I was on the way to recovery, I went to see Jennifer. I said, Jennifer, did what Jimmy do help me? And she looked at me and said, you probably wouldn't be here today if you hadn't. So I get a little teary-eyed about it.
It is truly amazing to think of the power of discovery that can occur from the generosity of an individual to see a bigger picture.